A lot of us out there are one-man band creators, filmmakers, videographers, but when you start working with other people, the immediate thing that you're challenged with is communication. And creating videos is all about communication. You're telling a story, you're talking to the client, you're talking to other creatives, your coworkers, whatever. And one thing that can immediately level up your communication in filmmaking and creativity is these headsets. Traditionally, you would think of a comm system as very expensive, but Accsoon has created this Como system that works very well and it's very affordable. So we're gonna open this thing up. I've already played around with this one, but they sent me 3. I wanna open it up with you. And they are sponsoring this video, so don't consider it a review. This is a showcase, just letting you guys know what this thing is and what it might be able to do for your workflow. Comes in this nice little box here. Look at that, mate. That's bloody nice, ain't that? That's nice. This time we connect through voice. And yes, I understand the irony of me being completely alone, talking about using something that would work on a film set or a small group creativity thing, but that's the YouTube business, baby. But I come from a background of shooting at music videos, wedding films, short films, and I could see such value in taking these on shoots like that. First of all, look how handsome I'm gonna look probably. Oh, wow. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, we have liftoff. Enjoy this flight through the Cambridge Mocha-Lockins. It's a beautiful mountain range off the coast of Skibidi-Roo. You get the headset and a battery that's rechargeable, which is already a great feature, and then a little bag of Rooney Booney to carry it in. I could even see myself using these when I'm shooting with my friend Joe. There's times where I want to do creative shots where I'm really far away from the camera, and being able to just whip these out and put them on to immediately connect would be amazing. And I think one of the best features is the fact that you don't have to push a button when you start talking, like an old school CB radio. You just put these on, flip this down, and you can start talking. You'll be able to hear the people that are talking back to you. You can go up like this to mute it so you're not being annoying. Super efficient. Also, I like to shoot a lot of stuff that's discreet, where I'm using a public place and I'm definitely paying for a permit for sure. But these allow for communication to be way quicker, so I can actually get the shots I need and then just get out of there. And let's just get it over with. Who would these be good for right away? I actually think YouTubers could benefit from these. If you're using a second shooter and you wanna get creative shots farther away from the camera, just have these in your bag. They're so incredibly lightweight and easy to use. Rechargeable, like I said, so you're not screaming across a field or something and losing your voice, which you need for camera. Also, if you're shooting wedding films or like small music video productions, anything indie where it's smaller crews, these would be so nice. There's been so many like metalcore, hardcore music videos I've filmed over the years where this would have been amazing with second shooters, where I could actually communicate with them instead of waiting until the end of the take. Like if I screw up a take or I forget to hit record or I mess up a setting, instead of just letting the band waste all that energy, I could just tell my DP or cam op like, hey, let's cut on this, we'll talk to the band, and then we'll restart. But instead it's like, hey, Jeffrey, cut the camera! And the band's just like, Also, here's some footage of a GH5 anamorphic video I shot forever ago that never got released. That one hurt, because I spent a lot of work on that one. If I had my Como, I could have talked to it about my depression. But also just any smaller independent production, smaller crew, being able to talk to other people on set, like, hey, go get me a snack, Jerry. Yeah, you're the craft services pawn. Go get me a granola bar, idiot. No, but even picture yourself shooting corporate interviews where maybe the set has to be pretty quiet, or there's been times where I've actually filmed in steel mills doing corporate commercial work, even just last year, and we had to have headsets on like this to communicate with each other. Throwing these in the kit for stuff like that, like any kind of shoot, even if it's a 2 to 10 person crew, whatever, these will be great for that. I know it's probably dumb, but I think like even just doing this automatically makes you look like you care more about your client shoot or your corporate interview, whatever you're filming. Like, oh dude, these guys are taking themselves seriously. Like they're rocking the Comos, dude, from Accsoon. Yeah, we know that brand. And you can listen to Hilary Duff whenever you want, and no one on set would even judge. Metamorphosis still slaps to this day. Let's take an actual peek at these little daddies though. So all you really need to know is where does battery go? And that is in this little drawer here. So you just slide it out. There's just a little button right here that lets the battery door unlock. And then there's your big rechargeable battery. You can get battery chargers to charge a bunch of these at the same time, which is really helpful if you have a bunch of them. I don't want to fry this, so I'm gonna put it in the correct way. There we go. Zoom in a little bit. You guys like my slider rig or what? You just pop it in like this, close the door, and you're good to go. The USB-C port is right here, and then the pairing button is right there. And one thing I like is the on-off button is a physical switch. It's not a button, actually, which is really nice. You don't have to sit there holding it down, wondering if you're powering it on. Flick this thing on, and it's ready to go. Also, if you've ever been on a set where you've had to wear a headset that just covers one ear like this, and after a while, it feels like this ear is destroyed because it's the only one exposed, you can actually just flip this back on this ear and pull the microphone over like this, and it works on both ears. So you get to choose, like if you have a freaking ear infection or something, or you just get tired of having one ear hearing the outside world, you can choose what side it goes on. So that's nice. And when you flick the switch on, there's a voice that actually says, power on. See if you can hear this.
Power on.
Then turn it off.
Power off.
There's also this button on the side that's labeled ENC, which stands for noise canceling. So these things actually can sound good even in loud environments. And when I was working doing some camera operating last summer in a steel mill, I had to like really make sure my microphone wasn't picking up tons of ambient noise and blowing out the ears of the other guys I was working with. Noise canceling is gonna help cut that way down so you can just hear each other's ears and you don't have to crank it. Those headsets I used before, you have to blast the volume just to hear your friends' voices. And then at the end of the day, your ears just demolish. So having noise cancellation on should work to lower that so you don't have to demolish your ears. So you get up to 10 hours of battery life, which should cover most shoot days. And like I said, the battery's external. Thank God it's not a built-in lithium battery. You also get a claimed 400 meters of range. Now that's probably line of sight. My friend Brandon Washington tested this on a real shoot and he didn't get 400 meters like through buildings and stuff, but for any real world use case, you're gonna be totally fine with this. Also, the thing that comes in this little baggie here is an additional ear cup design if you don't like how the leather feels. You can swap it out for foam wind cover for the microphone as well. But look how simple that is. This is just everything you need, no extra fluff. If you've been looking for a headset with quality and affordability, check out the Accsoon Como at the links in the description. Thank you to Accsoon for sponsoring this video. And of course, make sure to text me when you get home so I know you're safe. Watch out for deer, most importantly. Follow me on Instagram for short and dumb stuff like this. And remember that you guys are absolutely loved, much more than you might even know. All right, God bless you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.